we're going to start off today with a bit of a metaphor, or perhaps just a really, really bad analogy. I'll let you guys decide for yourself. We're going to talk about the genie and the lamp. But it's not really, we're not really talking about the genie and the lamp. We're doing something. We're talking about West Ham wishes and wasting West Ham wishes, which actually makes me wonder, what would be your 3 West Ham wishes? If you could rub up the lamp, obviously, if you could rub up the lamp, poof, genie comes out. I grant you 3 West Ham wishes. I'd be disappointed if the genie popped out the lamp and said, "I'm going to." I would say, "Why are these wishes just pertaining to West Ham? Give me the full wishes. No more wishing for more wishes. I know that much." Anyway, I digress. If the genie pops out the lamp and says, "What are your 3 West Ham wishes?" I want to know them. In the link, it's not in the link. There's no link, is there? In the chat bit, the conversation, the comment section. That's what it's called. We call it the conversation section, shall we? Let me know what your 3 West Ham wishes would be to the genie. Anyway, I think in many respects, sometimes you can waste your wishes, right? And I do wonder if West Ham have done this, or West Ham supporters have done this with one of the things that we've asked for. Now, there are big problems at West Ham. Big problems. We all know what they are. But having seen this all happen before, I'm very, very aware that the club will try and placate the fans by doing the small stuff and doing the small things. So West Ham fans might have 5 or 6 big problems, but they'll deal with some of the smaller ones so as the board can say, "Look, this is what we're doing. We are trying to help here." I'm going to go back to the recent vote of no confidence by the FAB, which listed a load of really, really important stuff. The stadium being one of them, recruitment being another one, which is so important, about having proper scouting, about there being just a proper structure at the club. I think the main thing that they asked for was the resignation of both David Sullivan and Karen Brady to resign their executive positions and get people in at the top of the club who knew what they were doing. Proper footballing executives. I think this is the good stuff. I think this is exactly what we should be doing. Recruitment, the running of the club, of the infrastructure, and the stadium. They're the 3 biggies for me, right? What the club would like to do is that they'll go and they'll say, "Oh, we'll get some fan flags. We'll hang some fan flags up. We'll rename the footbridge to Trevor Brooking footbridge, for want of a better phrase." That's what they'll do. They'll do the small stuff. You're with me on this, right? But one of the things that was in the FAB vote of no confidence was basically, we don't want you to use favoured agents anymore. Now, this is a little bit of a funny one because it's been blown up out of all proportion. Now, I got no love for Will Salthouse. Never met Will Salthouse. Don't know Will Salthouse. Never had a phone call or text or anything else with Will Salthouse. I did not like the Callum Wilson transfer. But the reason I'm talking about Will Salthouse now is it would appear that it's been one of the wishes that have been granted. Don't use favoured agents. Okay, we won't use Will Salthouse anymore. I only make the point to suggest I don't think he was that favoured. He's brought in one player in this season, and that one player is Callum Wilson. Not a good one. He brought in one player last season. So we made 9 signings last season. Will Salthouse made one of them. That was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Ding! I don't know why I'm doing the noises. That was good. That was a really, really good signing. We're going to go through some of his signings here. At the point, look, I don't care whether West Ham use favoured agents or don't use favoured agents. I think we're going to need a favoured agent in this particular window, and his name's going to be Jorge Mendes, because that is Nuno Espirito Santo's favoured agent. I think it's going to be really, really hard to sign players in the window, and I think we need all the help that we can get. But I do think Will Salthouse and Unique Sports Group have probably been used as a sacrificial lamb by David Sullivan and Karen Brady, as if to say, there you go, you can have what you want, we're not going to use those agents anymore. It's going to fix a problem that's not there. That's what I'm trying to say. The players that he has brought in, I've mentioned 2 of them. You can also you can add to that Maxwell Cornet, Aaron Cresswell, Antonio, Said Benrahma. I could probably argue that Said Benrahma might well have been the worst one after Callum Wilson. Craig Dawson, Darren Randolph, if there are any more, let me know. That's just what I've got up on the screen now. I did a search and that's what I found. He's far more of an influence at Wolverhampton Wanderers, funnily enough, Will Salthouse. I think might even 9 or 10 clients have either there now or been there within the last 24 months. but I'm relying on information from the internet. Of course, it could be false. Now, what we've heard is that the owners are so annoyed with Will Salthouse and Callum Wilson that they're going to get, basically, that's it. No more salty dealings. We're not going to be dealing with Salthouse anymore. So there you go, West Ham fans. We've granted one of your wishes. Like, whoa. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute there. I don't like the blame being laid at Salthouse for the signing of Callum Wilson. Agents will be agents. That is Salthouse's job, is basically to make money, make commission, excuse me, and find employment for his clients. That is his job. I don't have a problem with Will Salthouse or anyone else saying to West Ham, "Oh, here, would you take my client, please?" I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is West Ham saying yes. And this is where we get into a situation now where how has he got the blame for this? Because I would blame the person that signed off on the deal. I would blame David Sullivan for this deal. Because there is no way that this should have happened. There is just no way at all. But even though we did sign him, what it does, it's a little bit of a sideshow. It's a little bit of garnish on the side of the plate. The big problems at West Ham have very little to do with the Callum Wilson signing. The problem's probably not that we signed Callum Wilson at all. It's that we didn't sign a proper striker. We heard for years, and I mean for 2 or 3 years, particularly when Wilson was going on and having injury troubles, that West Ham wouldn't sign him. The West Ham board were very, very aware of Callum Wilson's troubles. It's not somebody that needs to be scouted. It's not like the board were handed a dossier from a scouted player and they're thinking, oh, hold on, who's this? It's okay, Callum Wilson, I heard of it. They know exactly who Callum Wilson was because he scored so many goals against West Ham. The board of directors knew that Callum Wilson was injury prone and they knew it would be a risk to sign him. Not only that, the board knew full well that what we needed was some athleticism up front. And they went and signed Callum Wilson anyway. So I find that a little bit rich, actually, that it's coming from the club, that, we're disappointed. We're disappointed with what Will's done there. I say it's come from the club. Have the club spoken directly? No, but I suspect the information has worked its way down from the club down there through the grapevine in some way, shape or form. And I just think the offering is rubbish. He is a sacrificial lamb. Now, I don't care if we never do another deal with Will Salthouse again. I'd have to go and look at his current clients, see if there's anyone I particularly fancy. But last time I looked, I didn't think they had a particularly good striker that I noticed on the books anyway, unless that's changed in the last little while. But to say, Will's been naughty by giving us that rubbish Callum Wilson who's broken and can't cut it in the Premier League anymore, that is just absolving yourself of responsibility. And that is what this board do so well. Everything is somebody else's fault. And we'll get to the list of that in just a second because it runs a little bit deeper. Before I do that, I want to interest you, if I can, in this fantasy football app that I can't stop playing. It's not fantasy football. It's a football manager app. I'm going to close it down here so I can open it up again. I just went to open it. It's already open. It's this one here, right? It's this club football app. It's magnificent. I can't stop playing this bloody app. In fact, I've got to cash in some money there. Ka-ching! Hold on, no, I don't. There you go. That's cashed in some Reggies there. I can't stop playing this thing. Basically, Football Manager, you can sack the board if you want to. You can upgrade your board. I've done it on numerous occasions, actually. I don't know if this board are better than the last board, but I keep upgrading them. I keep upgrading my agents. I keep getting new players in. It basically is football. It's a cross between football management, but then it becomes fantasy football at the weekend. So I've been drawn against a Chelsea fan. I'm a little bit worried about it this week. He's called the Blues. Not very creative. He's got Gakpo. He's got Grealish. He's got Walter-Marda. He's got Sesko, Fernandes, Xhaka, Zubamendi, Gabriel. Oh, man, he's going to whoop my arse. He's going to whoop my arse in this one. But I'm trying to build up my squad. I don't want you to do anything. This is free. All I want you to do is download it, because every time you download it, it helps us out because hopefully they'll stick with us as sponsorship. And well, as you know, we lost a big sponsor very, very recently. So I'd very much appreciate it. The link is in the description below. You haven't got to pay a single penny. If you use that link, they'll know you've come from Hammers Chat. And then hopefully we get paid at the end of the month. But if it was crap, I wouldn't recommend it. It's good. I'm playing it a lot. And we've got a Hammers Chat mini league, by the way. So if you want to join the Hammers Chat mini league, you can do that. That's quite a bit of fun. I had a good week last week. But all you'll do is only give you points versus the person you're playing. So I've come up against this Chelsea fan. So I think this is going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. If I win this, I'll be doing well. I don't know. I don't win. You don't win anything at all. It's just the fun of taking part, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I've upgraded all the stuff that West Ham don't do. I've got a good recruitment department. I've got a good sales department. I've upgraded my stadium. I've done all of this stuff. I'm bringing in good players. Everything West Ham don't do, I'm doing on that. And I'll tell you one player I won't be signing because you have agents that offer you players. I'll show you again. Sorry, this is the geezer there. His name's Manny, right? He's got a list of players that he's going to offer you. If he offers me Callum Wilson, I'm going to say no. And I'll tell you something. If he did offer me Callum Wilson, and I said yes, then it'd be my fault for bloody taking him, right? And this is what I don't like. This is the complete shifting of the goalposts. We had it with Malik Diouf. Malik Diouf, always a Carl McCauley signing, and Graham Potter. We backed the manager. We backed the manager. Brilliant. Okay, so you backed the manager. The moment he started to look good, say, oh no, he's not Potter and McCauley's. That was Max Hans and David Sullivan that signed him. I wonder, because he's not been in the best of form, let's face it, I wonder if he's now a McCauley and Potter signing again. This is exactly what it's like. No responsibility is taken. It is exactly the same with the whole director of football thing. And it doesn't matter whether it's Huselos, doesn't matter whether it's Stuyton, it doesn't matter who it is. It's not the fact that the club have got it wrong. No. As far as they're concerned, it's the very concept of a director of football that's wrong. So it can't possibly be David Sullivan or Karen Brady. No. It's the directors of football. We don't need them. This is what it's like. I've said this before on numerous occasions. It's as if they view everything at the club that goes wrong as if it has, almost as if a third party. Oh, how's that happened? Well, that's nothing to do with us. And of course, everything that goes right is down to them. And I just think we're seeing this now. I hope people don't watch this and misconstrue it as a defence of unique sports management. I couldn't give a donkey's arse or any other's arse about them. I think they are what they are. I think they're an agency who, over the years, have provided players to West Ham. Some of them good, some of them terrible. But the club don't need to take them. This is the thing. I do think things were worse under Mark Curtis. That's just my opinion, of course. I think then we had an unhealthy number of players at the club from the same agent. But it seems to be at the moment, it's sort of one player a season at the moment. Last year it probably looked worse because you had Cresswell and Antonio who are both still on the book. So even though there's one sign-in from Will Salthouse, there were 3 clients at the club once Wan-Bissaka joined. But I just think this as a sacrificial lamb, as an offering to West Ham to say, here you go, we listen, we care, West Ham care. And because of that, we're not going to be dealing with that favoured agent. It's going to make no difference at all. No difference at all. So just because Will Salthouse has been put on the naughty step, for now, until we need him again in the future, nothing has changed. We're not changing the way that we recruit at all. And by the way, I don't mind us. I've said this, I don't mind us using Mendes in this window. I think we have to, because something needs to cover up how terrible our recruitment is. But it's not the fault of Mendes, it's not the fault of Nuno Espirito Santo, and it's not even the fault of any other manager, whether it's Will Salthouse or any other agent, whether it's Will Salthouse or anybody else. It is the fault of West Ham that our infrastructure is so poor, that our recruitment is so poor, that our scouting, I don't want to have a go at the scouting. Scouting might be good, but you can recommend all of it. It works both ways. People can recommend us crap players and we can take them, but also that's infinitely possible we are recommended good players and we don't take them at all. It's like Martinelli at Arsenal. When he was in Brazil, he was offered to us for £1.5 million. I said, oh no, I don't think so. Honestly, the list is long. The list of players that we rejected is long. Ivan Toney, we're after Ivan Toney. We were offered Ivan Toney for £1.5 million from Peterborough. We said no. This goes on and on and on. The list is long. Very, very long of players we have rejected. The problem is not agents. The problem is the ownership. And that is it. And by offering up a sacrificial lamb, it's not going to change anything at all.